Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Bola Tinubu's recent presidential pardon, describing it as reckless and damaging to Nigeria's justice system. He said the prerogative of mercy should promote compassion and fairness, not trivialize serious crimes. Tinubu recently granted clemency to 175 individuals, including the late Maman Vasta, Mariam Sanda, Ken Sarowiwa, and others convicted of offenses such as homicide, fraud, and illegal mining. Atiku argued that extending clemency to those convicted of grave crimes undermines justice, weakens law enforcement, and emboldens criminality. He stressed that the decision sends a wrong message to Nigerians and the international community about the government's moral standing, especially at a time when the country faces worsening insecurity and drug-related crimes. He further described the move as insensitive, noting that nearly 30% of those pardoned were drug offenders. Atiku maintained that presidential pardon should symbolize reform and restitution, not complicity in wrongdoing, warning that Tinubu's actions erodes public trust and the moral authority of leadership. Jackson Lekojo, what do you make of this story?
It's unfortunate that in this part of the world, if you are in power, whosoever that tries to correct you, you take it for criticism. There is no government, there is no human being that can succeed in life if there is nobody to correct you at all. It's only in this country that if a drunkard is driving a car and somebody say, hey, the way you are driving it is very rough, the next thing is to say, waka shege. They say that man is insulting me. What Atiku said now, I'm not speaking for Atiku. What Atiku said now, I think if you check across the world, not only Nigerians alone, there are things that we must be very careful of. Canada, a high court in Canada pronounced APC PDP as a terrorist group. When they say this group is a terrorist group, who are the terrorists? The members are the terrorists. Good. Recently, they talked about genocide. A senator
in
US talked about genocide in Nigeria, that the killing in Nigeria is aimed at Christians in order to depopulate the Christianity and populate the Islamic. Whereas we know that nothing like that is happening here. Now, Mr. President has the prerogative, the power of prerogative of mercy. He can grant amnesty. He can grant pardon. But there are some persons that, if not because it become a popular this thing now, practice across the globe, that there should be no capital punishment again. There are some persons that are supposed to face capital punishment by hanging, by guillotine to cut their neck, or by electrocution. But because it's no longer in vogue anywhere in the world, there are some of these people that are granted amnesty or pardon that actually desire, they deserve it. But when they say they granted a pardon to Abad Macaulay, I don't think the president was born when Abad Macaulay committed such an offense. And I don't think that offense or whatever, I don't think that offense has been victimizing any part of his offspring. I don't think people like Vatsa was convicted to death by the military. You understand? And if it was true or not that he planned coup, if he planned coup, it is in the military law that planning coup to oust a sitting government is firing squad. But nobody knew if it was. But this time, I don't think since that time, this granting him pardon now, I don't think it has stopped the children from getting work, or from doing any business, or from going to any school, or from traveling to any part of the world. So I don't know the benefit of pardoning, because it was a national cry that time that because of the relationship between Vasha and the military president that time, that they were the best of friends. A lot of sympathy, emotional sympathy for Vasha. So to me, that one is still okay anyway. But when people are mentioning kidnapper,
there was a kidnapper and a known kidnapper that also, was a beneficiary of the presidential pardon.
Do you know, Mr. President has just introduced new policy now by that, which is going to boomerang on Nigeria very soon. It's an encouragement. It's an encouragement. If any of when they were still very small, if any of them commit any crime, maybe they go to my room to spoil something in my room, I will not beat him until the other one is there. When the other one is there, I will now call children of my neighbor, say, come, all of you sit down. I buy biscuit for them. I will just pick that one. I begin to flog him. Daddy, what did he do? Daddy, what did he do? I say, see what he did. Oh, so if me too, I do this to my daddy, he will flog me too. I say, yes. I say, your daddy may even break your head. That is a deterrence. That does not mean that I hate my son. But in a situation whereby Buhari started this, when two former governors were jailed for corruption, and you granted them pardon, and you said you are fighting corruption, and the people that are supposed to serve as deterrent to others, to other governors, not to steal too much, because there's no way they will not steal at all, not to steal to the detriment of the people, you granted them amnesty. You can't hear it. Some of our men that are in prison overseas now, they will not be in prison in Nigeria. You understand? That is it. There is a senator too that was in prison too for corruption. He fight it through the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said they should go and back to the trial court. Over 5 years now. There is nothing like trial court. So what Tinubu is doing now is a very negative precedent. Somebody will come tomorrow, the most notorious kidnapper in Lagos, Evans. Somebody will come tomorrow and grant him amnesty.
He has been applying for presidential pardon.
And so I don't think, maybe they forgot to give it to Mr. President. But one thing, I may not want to outrightly blame Mr. President now. Mr. President may not know all this. Some people must, it's not that Mr. President will just sit down on his table and say, okay, I remember social person. I remember social person. Some person would have submitted those names to Mr. President. And possibly Mr. President will tell the security people to profile the names and to see if those people really deserve
one would say to a large extent.
Yes.
I'm sure their crimes, whatever they were convicted of, will be clearly listed in those things. As the president, whether you, there are certain documents that comes before you, regardless of the profiling by your security, you're expected, hold on sir, you still have the floor, you're expected to go through it. It's your signature, like you said, sets the precedence and might change the dynamics of things.
Yes.
Now, if the people who were being pardoned were people who probably were wrongfully convicted, right? They are wrongfully convicted and they have been appealing that conviction, that would be a different ballgame altogether. But however, there were certain persons who were convicted and, overwhelming evidences of their crimes, have been made public. And these people, now, another thing, I was thinking about this as I was going through the story. I am now wondering about the safety for some of the dangerous persons that were released. some of the people that came out to testify against them in courts. Now, I'm beginning to wonder at the safety of these people and how they will feel, and how that will also encourage people moving forward when there is a certain kind of crime for people to come forward to testify or stand as witness. Because, I mean, after standing witness and this kind of thing happens, now I am thinking about the safety of the people who testified against these people and aided in their conviction.
For the first time, I will be exonerating Mr. President from this.
Go ahead.
Why am I saying this? Something happened a week or so ago, and I listened to one senator from the northern Nigeria, and I saw reason with him. And before that time, I was on a particular TV station online through Zoom, and I expressed. So when the senator was on air saying it, my family were saying, Daddy, did he hear you? Why? The senator said they are not to be blamed that if anybody come to the National Assembly to present fake certificate, he said because their own is to
ratify.
Their own is not to screen. Their own is not to begin to carry devices to know if this is this. That is the work of the security agencies, and that should be done before their document will even be released to Mr. President. And if Mr. President knows that the security agencies must have profiled these characters well, and he trusts that they should have been able to do their job. Are you telling me, Mr. President, we have to say, hey, this document, call the VC of the university, call the NYSC, call the principal of this secondary school, call the headmaster of this primary school? Is that the work of Mr. President? So in this case, Mr. President would have called. I think there is a committee for this. Mr. President would have called them. I'd like to grant some persons pardon. Go and get me the list, just like you have intelligently submit now that maybe there are some people that were wrongly convicted. Maybe some people that are supposed to go for 5 years imprisonment, they have even been in the prison for 15 years before they even caught their case and rule. So those people, ordinarily, their conviction is not supposed to be more than 4 years, but they have even spent 15 years behind bar. So those are the characters that Mr. President may want to visit. And it is not his own work. There are some people that must present those things, and by the time they are doing it, they must do it with the DSS, with the police, with the Nigeria correctional officers. Then they go through the court too to check how were they convicted. So you have to prosecute them before the conviction. So the people that the authority that prosecute them, the authority that convict them, the people that did underground, all this underground profiling will have been done. Then they will present it to Mr. President. Is it when they present the name to Mr. President will now say, hey, Wilcott, hey, George, what did he do? Police, who is the Inspector General of Police that time, what did he do? No. You must do, the security people must do the due diligence before presenting this document before Mr. President. Then Mr. President will approve for pardon. But in a situation whereby these people did not do their work well, Mr. President will fail. So in this case, it's not the fault of Mr. President. So some people are there, they did not do their work well. Some people did their work for favoritism. They want to favor so person.
All right.
That is it.
Now,
Mr. President is not that less busy to begin to call out the court, police. When was he convicted?
The point is not for the president to make these calls.
Yes.
Now, what I am saying is, I mean, it's very fundamental and rudimentary, you know. Before you append your signature
Yes.
on anything, one would expect that you go through whatever it is you're appending your signature on.
Yes.
Or are you telling me it was just a list of names that were given to Mr. President? There was no document, like, you know, detailing the crime that so and so person committed. A list of names were given to the president, and the president signed under that list of names.
I disagree. I disagree with you.
Go ahead.
For the first time.
Go ahead.
Now, a minister of the Federal Republic forged certificate. Before that name is submitted to Mr. President, some people need to do their works. The security agencies must profile. So if they profile and they submit the document to Mr. President, Mr. President knows that it is not his own work to go and profile. And he should trust the people around him.
So you're saying there was no need for the president to read the document that was given to him?
Mr. President will read the document before him.
So we are saying the same thing.
I will show that the document presented to Mr. President is the real document of, is the real information.
So now, didn't the president, you mentioned, you critiqued presidential pardon to persons like Herbert Macaulay, Maman Vasta, and all of that. Now, the president also didn't see those names?
The president see the name. If you, my criticism now of that of Herbert Macaulay, I said, what does Herbert Macaulay need that pardon for? After all, if Herbert Macaulay had done something too bad, his name wouldn't, his picture and name wouldn't even appear on our currency. So what is bigger than somebody's name be on the currency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? So why are you, so does that mean the people that put his name, his picture on the currency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria did something wrong?
No.
So if somebody can be so honored,
saying the same thing.
If somebody can be so honored, Mr. President do not need, but kidnapper,
drug barons.
Drug barons. I am saying that Mr. President will just work with the information presented on this table by the security people. It is not the duty of Mr. President to profile.
We have said the same thing.
We are not actually saying the same thing. You are saying
what I am saying is simple. Are you saying that the president cannot read?
Mr. President will read what they put on his table.
And after reading it, he appended the signature, correct?
Yes.
Now, and he saw names like Herbert Macaulay, who died before my grandfather was, my parents and my grandfather was born, correct? And you're saying that pardoning Herbert Macaulay does not translate to anything.
It does not translate because Herbert Macaulay has been so honored.
If Herbert Macaulay is being pardoned, then probably we should question who put Herbert Macaulay on Nigerian currency, which means a criminal in quote has been on Nigerian currency that warranted a presidential pardon. Isn't that? Now, that alone should have, you know, spurred the president to look critically and more closely at the names presented to him to sign. That's the point. Now, you are saying it is not the job of the president to profile.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
But now, I am trying to understand why he will append his signature, because you're saying the fault is coming from the people who profiled these people and presented the names to Mr. President. Now, the question again is, the document is before him, he just blindly signs it because his people or his cabinet or his committee, whoever they are, presented a list to him. Won't he go through the list? You said you're sure the president read it. So if the president read it, then you cannot say, I'm not saying the president is wrong. No. I'm not saying the president is wrong. But I'm going by what you have said.
No, you are not agreeing.
How are you exonerating the president on one hand, and on the other hand, you are still holding him culpable?
Good. There is high-profile personality. I blame Mr. President. Why did he give this thing to about my colleague that have been so honored that his picture and name appeared on our national currency? What honor that is more than that? I blame Mr. President for that. But for the criminals, a convicted criminal, kidnapper, drug addict, you understand? Those are not high profile. And I'm saying, if Mr. President knew about Macaulay or heard about Macaulay or whatever, that one is quite different. I am blaming him. I am not saying why did Macaulay had been so honored, better than many other Nigerians that even perform better than him. He had been so honored. So what I am telling you that granting amnesty or pardon to Abba Macaulay is meaningless. Okay. Because Abba Macaulay has been so honored. There are a lot of people during his time that served this country, their name has been forgotten. But his name is on the national currency. He needs no pardon. Because if you are just pardoning him now, you are indicting him. And you are indicting those people that have put his name on our national currency. That is there. But these other ones, Mr. President, we just read what the document they present on his table. The chairman of this company, I don't know if the chairman of this company knows everybody in this company. I doubt if he knows.
He does.
Everybody.
He does.
Good. Good.
He does.
He does. Good. He does. But I don't think the state governor knows everybody in the state. I don't know if a councillor knows everybody within his ward.
Not possible.
It's not possible. Then how do you expect Mr. President? Mr. President there are so many layers of reportage. There are people that will report and send it to another will take it up. The secretary, all these documents would have passed through the office of the secretary to the government of the federation, through the office of the chief of staff to the president, through the office of the attorney general of the federation, before they submit it. And what else do you want you still expect Mr. President to say, come, who is also person? Which court? I want to see the lawyer. I want to see the judge. It's not possible. It's not possible. Mr. President will work on the report presented to him on his table. Yes.
All right.
I am not one of the fans of Mr. President because of the hardship in this country. But in this one, some people are with him. They are not supposed to be with a president.
So your issue now is some of these seeming mistakes that you think that the president has made. You feel it is not the fault of Mr. President, but the fault of his cabinet. The
people that presented it.
All right, very well.
The way you are with your position here, there are things you can present to the chairman of this company. He just believe that, since it's Lorenza that is bringing it, Lorenza is very perfect in a way. He may not need to use all the word in this one. Say, come and tell me this. Come and tell me this envelope. Come and tell me pen. Come and tell me where you buy water. You understand? Right. And if he sign it because he believe that you could do your work diligently. So if you sign it and you later make him to regret, he won't have that trust in you again.
All right.